Alright, so we're on to that last step, making a game over screen. So we have already created our lives. We did that in one of the previous videos. So now that we have this countdown from 3 lives to 0, which is also connected to a broadcast of, or actually connected to, let's go to our spaceship, connected to a loop that is looking to see if our lives equal 0. And when that happens, we're going to compare the score to the high score. We're going to show you the high score, and then we're going to end the whole game. So stop all. But that doesn't tell you the game stop, it just does it. So let's add one more thing before the game actually stops, or at the same time, so you know. And that's going to be adding another sprite, but in this case, actually let me go back. In this case, we're going to create a custom sprite. It's not going to be an image, it's going to be text. So here, see that big T, click on that, click on any point on the canvas, and we can type in game over. Color, let's make that bright orange. And by pulling this side, we can make it bigger, taking up the majority of the screen. And we can place it by just, I thought I could, pulling it. So the position right now is at 100, so I'm going to change that to 120. Oh, that's the size. Let's do that. 0, 0. How is that 0? Oh, because the size is taking up the whole screen. So is 0, 0 of the center. So as I move this, I'm actually placing it in a position on the stage, and this little target is the middle of the stage. So when I bring this crosshair or plus into that crosshair, that's the absolute middle. And that's how that costume's set up. So we're setting literally the starting point at 0, 0. So that's the middle of the graph or 2D plane. And that means it's the perfect center. So we have game over. It's a new sprite. And just like all the other sprites, what we're going to do is at the start of the game, when you click on this, we're going to hide it. And when we have this game over screen, which is stop all, before we stop all, let's add another broadcast, which is an event. Going to make a new message and say game over. And we'll go back to the game over sprite, which I'm actually just going to name game over. So I'm in the costumes, naming the costume, so that down here, psych, oh, here's the name. Alright, so now it's called game over. So when I go back to the code, When clicked, it's going to hide, but when I receive a broadcast of game over, I'm going to show. And that should cover what these instructions are talking about here. But there's something special. Because it wants you to broadcast game over and wait. So essentially, instead of just broadcasting it and saying, all right, this is happening, it's going to wait for this response, which is when the game over receives this broadcast, it's going to show the game over. But I have to go back to when I posted this broadcast and make sure it waits for that response by getting a broadcast game over and wait. So now, play the game, lose a life, and game over. So it technically waited for the game over text to pop up before it stopped everything. And that's setting your game over.